Namaste programs, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator and the tour does, and another official bush trip, the Australia Southeastern Canberra to Melbourne. The southeastern corner of Australia offers a broad multitude of sights from the air, including exquisite architecture, long stretches of coastline and the country's highest mountain. Lifting off from Canberra, Australia's capital city, you'll explore the best that this planned urban area has to offer before setting off to the hills and peaks of the Australian Alps. Explore vast stretches of rolling terrain woven into valleys, broad plains and plateaus until you reach Mount Kosciuszko, the country's high point at 7,310 feet above sea level. Kosciuszko is surrounded by lakes and reservoirs, each with its own unique character. After passing over the crowning heights of Australia, you'll explore the urban centre of Melbourne, including some of the most spectacular skyscrapers in the country. The journey comes to an end after visiting Port Melbourne on the northern extremity of Port Phillip Bay. 598 kilometres, nearly 3 hours, 4-leg. We are in a Tron Aviation Cessna 172. Let's get going. Okay, I think we're ready to go. We've sent the Diamond with the co-pilot to go meet us in Essendon at the end of this these 4 legs. And they've given us a Cessna 172. And we're going to take off from Canberra Airport here and follow the instructions. Official Australian bush trip numero dos. All part of the tour dos though. There we go. No gear to lift up, no flaps to lift up. What do we want? We want 310 degrees for 1 minute 17. Okay, alright. Let's start our clock. Look at all these colourful cars, and we've still got the circus there. It's excellent. Excellent. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Excellent what? Why aren't I gaining any height? We're off to Mount Ainslie. After lifting into the sky from Canberra Airport, head to the northwest to Mount Ainslie, a 2,766 foot high peak that lies to the north of and overlooks Canberra. We'll have it's the first leg, so we're gonna have the purple line. We're gonna have to use that as a crutch. Is this Mount Ainslie here? I thought Mount Ainslie was the one with the sky tower on it. We are going quite slow, so I don't know exactly where it thinks it's taking me. It must be this one. This one looks like about 2,766. It's got a little, building there for people to start hikes from or something, who knows. Yeah, much higher than the one that's got the sky tower on it. $117 on the dot, or 1 minute 17 on the dot. That's amazing. All right. I think we're probably high enough as well. We'll see. Let's see. We want 236 for 50 seconds. City Hill. Turn to the southwest and fly over City Hill, a key point of the parliamentary triangle of Canberra. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. We did a lot of this yesterday. Let's try and figure out. Let's just go 0% on the trim and see how that settles for us. I didn't reset the clock because it was 50 seconds, but anyway, let's do it now. The purple arrow will be our guide. So which one's City Hill? Parliamentary triangle. I'm not even seeing a hill here. I mean, that's the Parliament House there. That's Old Parliament House. It all leads down to, actually Old Parliament House is there. Whoa, we're doing an absolute turn here. Alright, 230... Oh, it skipped one. Hang on. How are we 156? We should be doing 237 for Lake Burley Griffin for 25 seconds. This is the lake. We're above the lake. Oh, and then 16 seconds for... Alright, so let's read out. Let's just head where we're going. That's for... We've got Parliament. I'll read it all out later. We did Lake Burley Griffin. We did the National Museum of Australia. I think that's it there. This is Old Parliament House. This is New Parliament House. I've only got like half a second to look at anything. And then we're doing 235 to the Mint. thought the mint was on the water, to be perfectly honest with you. 48 seconds. I'll read out everything in a minute. Is that the mint down there? I've been to the mint, but we did that at school. We went there to get bicentennial dollars or something. I've still got them somewhere. Alright, that might be the mint there, question mark? No, not yet. It was 48 seconds. Maybe this is it over here. This might be it. I have a vague recollection it is a sort of, yeah, flat building. Anyway, that must be the mint there. Somewhere there. And now we want 216 for 336, which should give me a little bit of time to read the next thing. So, what did we miss? We did City Hill, then National Museum of Australia. Why is my trimming now at -5%? I didn't do that. Turn to the southeast and visit the National Museum of Australia, which lies at the end of a prominent peninsula in Lake Burley-Griffin. Parliament House, seat of the legislative branch of the Australian Government, lies to the south-southeast of the National Museum of Australia. Royal Australian Mint. Turn to the southwest and follow Adelaide Avenue to the Royal Australian Mint. And now we're headed to the Canberra Deep Space Communications Complex. From the Royal Australian Mint. Is that it there, I wonder? Well, I haven't reset the clock. Haven't had time, really. Let's see when the... see if the thing changes. Maybe not yet. From the Royal Australian Mint, fly to the southwest, passing over a number of small hills and then the Murrumbidgee River to reach the Canberra Deep Space Communications Complex. It is, I did notice, one of the points of interest. It was so far out of the city I didn't bother trying to look for it yesterday in the drone. It's a bit hard to find things in the drone because you don't have the GPS map available to you. You'd have to fly the plane there to do that. Are we still gaining height? Yes, good. I did not do 1%. I had it at 0%. Why is this automatically trimming? What are you doing? So where's this deep space communications, huh? Huh? Well, and why are we communicating with deep space anyway? Let's actually trim back a bit. Oh, I see. There's sort of a delay. This must be it here, up on the top of this hill, surely. Hello? Are you talking to aliens? No? No aliens to chat with? We've hit the edge of Canberra here. Suddenly, no more peoples. Maybe it's still further up ahead. What we got here? What we got here? 216. Are we seeing anything on the map here? Well, I don't know where this space communication thing. Surely we've done 3.5 minutes by now. We're going to need some height, especially if we're going into these mountains. Canberra's already up quite high on a peninsula. And then also, yeah, the Great Dividing Range here, the mountains. Australia's not particularly mountainous. These are the biggest mountains in Australia, and as we read earlier... Oh, here's the space thing. Mount Kosciuszko at 7,000 feet is the tallest mountain, which is about, the size of the smallest mountain in the Alps, for example. But it's taller than any mountain in Britain. There we go. Look at this space complex. Oh, talking to the aliens. Leading them on here with their lizard zombie robot Illuminati zombie robot Illuminati aliens. However that was going before when we were doing our trip avoiding the zombies from Europe. Sick, bruh. Sick. Love space stuff. I love space stuff almost as much as I love flying stuff. In fact, more. In fact, much more. Alright, 2:04 for 12 minutes 40 to the Tantagara Reservoir. Continue on a southwest heading, flying over low mountains and gentle valleys to reach the Tantagara Reservoir. Never actually heard of it. Never heard of it, don't know what it is. I guess it's a reservoir up here in the mountains. How high do you think we need to be? I think we're still lower than that mountain, so we better give it a bit more oomph, bit more climbing. We've got plenty of fuel. Can maybe do a bit of a look around, see what's going on. Beautiful country here, up in the mountains with its rivers. And look, you know, I was taking the piss a bit with Canberra. It's one of the rules of I didn't reset the clock. God damn it! There we go. Reset the clock. Probably a minute off. One of the rules of being from Sydney is you just have to, you know, shit on Canberra, but you know, it is a nice place. It's much calmer than Sydney. There's lots of great restaurants and coffee shops. It's quite good in that respect. The Pollies demand their good food and coffee, and it's chill. I mean, it was designed by Walter Bertie Griffin. I think his name of the lake is named after the guy who designed Canberra. And it is like quite literally Illuminati shit. I think he was a Mason or something like that, and all of the triangles and the circles, and it all means stuff, and there's conspiracy theories about why the buildings were put where they were put. And anyway, there you go. There's a lot of fun to be had if you like your conspiracy theories. And you know, it's a nice place to live if you don't like humidity, because it is up fairly high, and it is a lot cooler than Sydney is. And it's a little bit out of the way, I guess. They have an excellent rugby team, so you know, what's not to like? Doesn't really feel like we're getting any higher here, but we need to try, otherwise we will be flying into this mountain. In fact, the ones over after it look even higher. Maybe I should... Let's just go to 8%. What's going on down here? What do we got here? A farm. The secret headquarters of the Illuminati, perhaps. And then you've got this road through the mountain here. Where does it lead? Presumably somewhere to this reservoir. I feel like I need to be, has this got fuel mixture? It does. Forgotten how to work this. Just mixture like that way, don't we? We want the CPMs, flow CPMs to be in the green. There we go. Let's see if that helps with the climbing a bit. To which the answer is not at all. Okay, alright. Yet again, they give us an aeroplane that's, there are much better planes for flying up in altitude, I'm sure. They like to make it tricky. I mean, it's almost like I've got flaps down or something. It's just how it feels like we're flying. I can't lift the gear up. The flaps are definitely at the top. There we go. Just double check that. Is this the reservoir, I wonder? I don't think so. It's just a lake. We've only done, well, probably 4.5 minutes. On our way to Tantagara Reservoir. I'm enjoying this bush trip already, over the mountains. We did the coast, obviously, with with the Queensland bush trip, and I was following the coast of Sydney. Now it's nice to do a bit of inland mountainous flying. I think we can probably try and trim to 0 now and see how that goes. Get our speed up a bit. Don't really want to lose that much height, but there we go. Try and figure out what the best trim will be. Beautiful lake here. Sorry if you can hear my grandmother in the background there. She's raiding the fridge because she's not hungry, while singing at the top of her lungs and making sarcastic comments. I think you could probably hear her a bit. The mic was registering it. Well, that's how loud she was. But it just adds a little bit of flavour to have, you know, a 98-year-old grandmother in the back of the plane while we're flying through Canberra here. Actually, we're no longer in Canberra. We'd be back in New South Wales. I feel like we're not high enough, so we're going to have to trim back again. Meanwhile, let's have a bit of a look around. We've got a nice little river there. Creek / river. Beautiful mountains. I love mountains. There's just no intermediary thing on the thumbstick here. It's either quite fast or not moving at all. I wanted a nice smooth circle. Very slow, but no, it's not letting me. Probably need some change in the settings a bit. Let's gradually lower the trim, just in little bits, just a tiny little bit. There, I did 2 taps. 2 taps, still on 5%. Get a bit of speed up. Try to get back to level without having to land on this mountain. Flow is fine. There we go. We've got a nice little bit of a valley, or whatever you want to call it here. We can lose a bit of height if needs to be. Let's go down to 4%. Get up a bit of speed. Try to find the right numbers. I don't know why I'm flying at 206 when we should be doing 204, but I can see some water off there at the distance. We've just done 8 minutes on the clock, so it's probably 9 minutes because I started it late. Of 12 minutes, so that must be the reservoir over there. Off in the distance, Tantagara Reservoir. So we'll sort of head towards that rather than worrying about the actual clock. Oh, direction I meant to say. I don't know why I said clock. Too busy looking at this trim right now. We've got plenty of room to move here. Let's just let it plummet down while it tries to get speed and level itself off. We'll see how 0% does. Where are you, Tantagara? Where are you? We've done 9 minutes, so another couple of minutes and we should be where we should be. Look at these little roads. Are these actually little houses here? Possibly. Don't know really. No, maybe not. sort of feels like that could be an area for a farm with the what looks like tracks and things, but no actual buildings or anything. So what's that all about? More Illuminati stuff, almost certainly. Alright, so we're actually still losing height at 0%, so we'll try 2%. Let it level off. Hello, are you Tantagara Reservoir? I think you are. Just ticked over 10.5 minutes. So that means another minute or so by my calculations, although we were climbing so we weren't at full speed and all of that, so we'll let the purple arrow guide us while we can for this first leg. I'm not above using a crutch. So a reservoir to me, as opposed to a lake, it implies that this is man-made. Although Lake Burley Griffin is man-made and it's named Lake. I guess maybe it's just wherever we get water from is a reservoir? I just don't know. Look at this scenery though, these long, luscious fields of grass, I guess, or almost marshland. It certainly wouldn't be a bad trip to, you know, hike over. I'm sure this is, well, these are the Snowy Mountains, so you've got wild brumbies and things rolling around here as well. I don't know that we'll be able to see them in the sim, but yeah. Wild horses apparently up here, and kangaroos and all sorts of things. Lots of kangaroos around Canberra. You don't see them in Sydney, even though every Australian will tell you, if you're not from Australia, that there are kangaroos jumping down the main streets. No, I've never seen a kangaroo except at a zoo in Sydney, but I've seen plenty of kangaroos outside of Canberra and the northern coast of New South Wales, where I've spent some time near some kangaroos. Let's reset our clock here because we're now doing 177 for 5 minutes 45. The Ecombene River, Ecombene River, I'm going to go. Turn to the south and pass over rolling forested peaks of the snowy mountains of the Australian Alps to reach the Ecombene River. I can't possibly be Bene. I mean, it's not. That sounds Italian. I'm just saying Bene because of that. But how would you? Ecombene, maybe, or Ecombene. Don't know. Don't know how it's pronounced. Never heard of it. Never actually heard of it. I know a lot of the rivers of Australia because they teach that in school. But alright, we've lost so much height, we're going to have to climb up again. Now over this hill. On our way, just looking for this river. I want to know how it's pronounced. Let's see if the Googles can help. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that bit of noise. Something auto-played on my my browser. Like an arsehole. Wish it wouldn't do that. So let's see. Ecombene. How do you spell it? Wikipedia. doesn't tell me how it's pronounced. Nothing. Telling me absolutely nothing. How do I... Can I Google pronunciation? Howtopronounce.com, Ikombini. Oh, I have to play it, do I? Why can't it just give me the phonetic? Yukombine. Alright, thank you, Google. You have done your job marvellously. Yukombine. Sounds about right. I feel like that's probably just some automated thing. No one's bothered to actually put Yukombine, but I'm going. Google says Yukombine. That does sound awfully like how an Aussie would say it, I suppose. Yeah, mate. Just going down to the Yukombine River to see the Yukombine Lake. Yukombine Dam used to be here, but I'm not sure if it's here anymore. Yeah, the Yukombine, eh? How are we doing on time here? 3 minutes of nearly 6 minutes, so we're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're still climbing, but still need to be climbing. Just drop it down a little bit. Going on? I just feel like this. I'm lacking in power. I mean, we sort of hit 5,500 and then it's almost like it's the limit of the plane. But I mean, I've flown Cessna 172s. You can at least go to 8,000 feet, I think. And if it was pressurized, you can almost certainly go higher. So why is it struggling? Why? What are these struggles of aeroplane? We've got a lake here, and yet I'm meant to be... Is this the river, actually? Fairly wide river, if that's what you're suggesting. Why is this all cleared out? Power lines, maybe. Yeah, I think power lines, and the algorithm hasn't recognized that. There's like a shadow there of a wire or something, or a pole. Looks like power lines. That tends to be how they do it. Look at this, it's almost like the sea, except it isn't. It's a big lake. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm thinking, well, not thinking, it seems that this is considered to be the Yukombine River. Yukombine River. I've already forgotten how it was pronounced. Yukombine. Except this is not a river, this is a lake. A little bit odd. Alright, we've just hit 530 or possibly 545, although we're still climbing a bit, so let's go down to 3%. Try and get our speed up a bit. Yeah, no, there we go, pretty much spot on for time. There we go. So now we want 138 for 5 minutes 6 seconds. Reset our clock. Lake Yukombine. Follow the valley carved by the Yukombine River to Lake Yukombine, one of Australia's largest reservoirs. I think that's probably meant to be one of Australia's largest reservoirs. Definitely looks like it. If you're calling this lake on the left here a river, which it isn't, oh, I guess I mean, well, what defines a river really? Is this the source? Is this the source right here? Oh, there it is. There's the river. It's hiding behind here. And this, to me, would be the lake starting. And yet it's telling me 5 minutes this way is the lake. We're already on the lake. Bush trip, people. saw something over there. I'm seeing things. I'm hallucinating. The Illuminati alien zombie robots are coming. Pretending to be lizard people. They're a complex species. Part zombie, part robot to try and deal with the zombification. Of course, they were originally sort of lizard people. But they're really aliens. They're not really lizards. They just sort of look like lizards that have turned into zombies that they've protected by, you know, cybernetics and things. Look, it's complicated. It really is. And they control the world, as we know. Illuminati. Got a little something going on here. Looks like a bunch of shacks and things. It might actually be a little not a resort, like a camp. What do you call them, with like bungalows and things? And then a whole bunch down that little road there. It's practically a village. It's probably Yukumbini. When I googled it, I did see there was a dam, Yukumbin Dam, and also a Yukumbin town. So is that Yukumbin, or is Yukumbin somewhere else along here? I didn't bother looking at it, and I've already closed my Google, so... Tough shit, Yukumbin. I don't know where you are. I'm sure you're here somewhere. I'm sure you're lovely. You've got a very lovely lake to live on. It's crazy though, really, isn't it? It's beautiful. I had no idea this was up here. I like this. I like that this bush trip is showing me things I've never seen. That's what I want. That's what I need. Do a spin. Spinning is good. I'm not going to do a barrel roll. There's not enough power in this plane right now to do barrel rolls. Plus it's a bush trip. I'd probably fail the bush trip for incorrect usage of barrel rolls. I mean, how are we at 109 knots, right? At 100% power. We're not even anywhere near the orange. We're not climbing. I feel like the Cessna 172, it's been more powerful than this in the past. I've done something wrong is probably the thing. You're probably going, oh, you've got the flaps down or something, but I don't know what it is I've done wrong. Or else it's just, you know, can I get the... I get the wind? Where is the wind? 5 knots in front of us. Not really that strong. Yeah, 5 knots. That's nothing. That's nothing, bruh. That's absolutely nothing, bruh. Anyway, there you go. Just not worry about it. We're surviving here. Everything's going sort of purple for some reason. Presumably it was different aerial photography. Looks like it was taken at dusk or something. Perhaps on a cloudy day. Kind of looks a bit surreal, really. Anyway, we've done 4.5 minutes of 5 minutes 6 seconds. So we should very much be. This is considered the waypoint for Lake Yukumbin. I'll have to find a phone number in Yukumbin, ring them up and go, "Ah, mate, how you call your town?" "Sick, brah. It's Yukumbin, mate." Or he might go, "Well, excuse me, sir, no, we call it Yukumbin, after the local Aboriginal population." You just don't know. I'm casting stereotypes on my own peoples. I mean, even I don't talk in an Aussie accent, an Aussie ochre, that strongly. What's going on? We've hit the desert here. We're hitting the desert already. Okay, 8 minutes in this direction for 122. Well, 8 minutes for 122. Yeah, my brain just won't say it properly. 122 for 8 minutes. 122 degrees. We're going to Cooma Snowy Mountains. Turn to the southeast at Lake Yukonbean and land at Cooma Snowy Mountains Airport, Wycombe. Wycombe, brah. Why come you do this to me? Over here somewhere, eh? Over here. Look at this colouring. It's a nutty. Let's see if we can do a nice slow. There we go, that's better. Why wasn't it letting me do that before? Very nice. I've got my co-pilot. What's going on? Not meant to have co-pilot on the bush trips? Didn't last time. Oh, well, who's taking our plane down to Melbourne then? Someone nicked it. Someone nicked our diamond. Beautiful. Marvellous. Truly scrumptious. Yeah, we've hit the desert here, that's for sure. Look at this, there's nothing. Or is it just really bad photography? I think it might be really bad, just only satellite photography. Although it looks a little bit detailed. I'm not seeing any trees. Why is this all just some big treeless sandbank kind of thing? It's on a lake, for fuck's sake. There should be plenty of water. It doesn't really look like it's human-made clearing, but maybe it is. There's a bunch of paths there. Interesting. Maybe the kangaroos ate of all the vegetation. Maybe it was the wombats. Curse you, wombats! You know, and compare this to North Queensland, where it was just every tree on the planet right there. It's just so many trees. And here we've got like one tree. What's going on here? Again, we've got these little... What are these? Is this a dump site or something? Like a tip? Well, I've got this long dirt track to a bunch of things. Doesn't really look like a farm. I mean, maybe. That could almost be a field there, I suppose. The algorithm hasn't decided to put... Well, they are buildings. It's just the algorithm hasn't put buildings in. Why? What are you doing, algorithm? There was very clearly some buildings. What's wrong with you? Why would there be an airport out here? Where are we going? Cooma. I guess Cooma is a fairly... I know the name Cooma in the Snowy Mountains, so it must be a fairly big town, so it probably needs an airport. Have I been to Cooma? I've been to Thredbo, which is Mount Kosciuszko, and I've been to Lake Jindabyne, which is up here somewhere as well. I have skied in Australia, but I had initially learnt to ski in the French Alps, where there's snow. And then, yeah, my one ski trip in Australia was very much a disappointment. I had to take my skis off mid-run and walk part of it because there was no snow. Lol. Although, beautiful. I mean, plenty of snow, obviously. It's up in the mountains. It's just some of the runs weren't particularly snowed on. It was probably a bad year as well. Some years are better than others. Although I doubt in the French Alps there's ever been a season where there was no snow and that you had to take your skis off to do part of the run. Doesn't seem likely to me. Look at this, just plateau. Incredible. Just, you know, we're up high. I mean, it looks like we're probably about 4,000 feet the ground is. And yet, not many bigger. There's a few mountains over there. We're just on an almost flat section of the snowy mountains. Hey, there's another little farm. What you doing there, bro? What you doing in the middle of absolutely nowhere? Wow. Wow. You are miles from anything. Anything. What's that? Is that a quarry or something? Actually, a bunch of little houses here, a bunch of farms. So this is a bit of a farmland area. We've done 5 minutes. I would really think we would have seen the airport by now. We've got 3 minutes to go. Where's the airport? Oh, absolutely nothing on the map. Oh, there is something there. Look. Look. That must be it. I cannot see it though. Where is it? Where are you at, airport? Can't see the runway. Definitely it though, judging by the picture. There's a road. Actually, I can't even see that road. Maybe that's not it. Must be. Absolutely must be. I mean, why would there be multiple airports out here? I'm going to assume this is it. I'm not... Is this a town here? Is this a large town? It's sort of got the fuzziness that sort of indicates it might be buildings not rendered in yet. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it from the picture. Got a little parking area to the right of it. Yeah, okay, cool. Yes, I'm beginning to see the shape of it now. And that must just be trees over there. So I don't know where Cooma itself is. But here's a nice big runway in the middle of a nice big flat plain. Excellent. I think we can probably slow down a bit. At least get our flaps down. Don't know how high the airport is. Doesn't tell me. That would be something I would know if I was actually doing a proper flight plan, but the game doesn't let you know that. There's nowhere it tells you what the altitude of the airports are. Maybe there is. Maybe I can look at it on the GPS somehow. I don't know. Seems a bit odd. Maybe I can talk to them. I don't think we have the radio in the bush trips though, so I can't even get the information that way. Wow, this plane does not want to slow down. Alright, let's get all our flaps down. That's better. Let's trim back a bit more. Make our life a bit easy. And just float in, calmly. Serenely. Say hello to Cooma. Okay, so it was just trees. It wasn't a town. Don't know where the nearest town is. Maybe that's just us below us. That one house. That one house. There is a fairly big road going past the airport, so wherever it goes, out that way somewhere, must be where the civilization is. I am still not... I'm just floating here. Alright, it's a long one way. We're going to just have to... We'll just float over this way a little bit more. Can't believe how floaty we are. I feel like a balloon. Right, well, we'll just pick up a bit of speed to lose a bit of height, because we are just not going to float to the end of the runway here. This is unbelievable. It won't go down. We're stuck in the air forever. We're stuck in the air forever. I cannot believe this. There's something weird about the physics today. It's something weird. I think it hasn't loaded in properly or something. It just doesn't feel right to me. Why are we so floaty? Why didn't we have any power? It's almost like we've been given more lift than we should have. But maybe it's just because I'm used to the diamond. Let's try and get our brakes on. Let's hope it registers. We're down. We're on the runway. That's all. It's plenty good. Gigantic runway. Plenty of room to take off tomorrow. It did register. We're in the right spot. Welcome to Cooma, and that was leg 1 of the, what was it called, Australian Southeastern bush trip, part of the Tour d'Oz. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, thank you for existing, au revoir, goodbye.